A situation we haven't seen so far with adding and subtracting integers is when we have this plus a negative number and minus a negative number. In this case, the parentheses will separate us from the plus and the minus, but it doesn't mean do 5 times 3. Sometimes we see parentheses and think multiply. In this case, it's just to separate it so it doesn't look kind of weird if we just wrote 5 plus negative 3. Looks a little bit odd. So what this situation means in terms of the number line. So on the number line, before we said that plus meant go right and minus meant go left. We need to change this though. That changes when we have a positive right next to a negative. So in this case, what it means is positive is go in the same direction as the negative would normally go in. So normally minus means go left, so plus minus actually means go left. Really, this is just one minus sign. A positive next to a negative is really the same thing as doing 5 minus 3. So using our number line, although this one you might be able to do in your head, it's good to practice with the number line for the situations we're not as comfortable in. We start at 5. There's our starting line. We're minusing 3, so now we go left 3 spaces. 1 space, 2 space, 3 spaces, and we end up at positive 2. So 5 minus 3 is 2. When we have 7 minus negative 4, here it's go in the opposite direction as negative. So normally negative means go left, but together if we go in the opposite direction of going left, that's the same as going right or plus. A minus minus is the same thing as plus 4. So we would start at 7, go right 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we end at 11. So the rule is, in general, if you have plus a minus, and it doesn't matter what comes first, if this starts negative 2 plus a minus 7, this all becomes one negative symbol. A positive minus is the same thing as doing negative 2 minus 7. If we have a minus minus, that's the same thing as plus. Again, the front number, it doesn't matter. Let's start with positive 5. If we do minus negative 8, that becomes 5 plus 8. The minus minus was go in the opposite direction of negative, which is really going to the right or plus. So once we have that, you can either do the problems in your head or with a calculator. 5 plus 8 is a lot simpler. That's 13. On the negative 2 minus 7, it might be necessary to use a number line. This number line had a different problem on it that I'm going to erase. So we start at negative 2. We go left 7 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. And we end at negative 9. So negative 2 minus 7 is the same thing as negative 9.